Stitchy friends, welcome back. My name is Laura. You found Lala D Stitches, and I'm so glad you're here with me this morning. It's been about 3 weeks or so since my last video. I have a lot to share. I actually recorded yesterday and we had a glitch, and the video that was a video was not actually a video. So we're here. It's bright and early in the morning. I have no makeup on and I am actually wearing pajama bottoms because post-surgery, what else do you wear? It's a problem. It's like dresses or pajamas. It has to be loose, it has to be comfortable. Can't put any pressure on my abdomen. Anyways, it's a thing. It's my problem. But at least we're comfy, right? Okay. Everything will be backwards because I didn't even move my stack. After I discovered the video didn't take yesterday, I just walked away. And I was okay. I was tired anyways, so maybe this is for the best. I don't have a ponytail in case it gets warm. It's another reason I'm filming in the morning is because it was quite hot yesterday. It was around 90 degrees, and while this room doesn't get direct sunshine, it still gets very warm by afternoon. It's upstairs, and I refuse to turn on my AC for 2 hot days. So we just sweat it out. It's fine. Okay, let's jump into the cross stitch. Like I said, I have lots to show. It'll be in reverse order of what it would have been yesterday. That's okay. So we'll start with a sampler for Grace, which is this spectacular sampler that was released at Market this year. There is a stitch along going for it, hosted by Annie on Instagram. Her handle is XO Needle in the Hay XO. Her stitching is gorgeous. I'm always suckered into new projects because of her. She takes beautiful photos and does beautiful stitching. Anyways, all my fabric needs to be edged, which I discovered yesterday as I was going through. I was like, wow, I have a lot of raw edges. Okay, anyway, so she's broken this pattern up. It's morning, I'm scattered, it's fine. She's broken this pattern up into 24 sections. So it's a 12-month stitch along, and she releases, or reveals rather, the next section every 2 weeks. I completed section 1 plus a little bit extra, and that's good because section 2 has been out for almost a week and I've done zilch. Anyways, here it is. It's gorgeous. It's so gorgeous. I'm really glad I went with the Lugana. This is platinum Lugana. I believe it's a 32 count. And the 1/1 is going to kill me. It just makes my head explode, which is why I have half a line. But it's really pretty. It's very satisfying. I just can do about a word at a time. And then, like I said, my brain explodes. Thank heavens this is on even weave. But isn't it cute? It's so cute and tiny. Tiny little stitches. So I did have to redo this rainbow corner twice because this is one of the first projects I picked up after I was feeling like stitching again, and my brain was not as ready as my heart for stitching. And I was just stitching my own rainbow. It was fantastic but wrong. So we pulled it out and redid it, and it was all good and well. Anyways, sampler for Grace. Gotta pick it up again because I've got work to do. I'm also gonna sip on my coffee. Another lesson I learned from surgery: don't shop Etsy while you're still coming out of anesthesia. Or maybe do, because look at this beautiful handcrafted mug I got. It's my new favorite. I don't know. Okay, let me find... Oh yeah, I was showing project bags yesterday. I was so extra. I think I tucked it away. Okay, next one is Heartstring Samplery, All Things Wise and Wonderful. I gave this a start and then came to a pause because I saw, inspired by Michelle Ray's Instagram, and she is combining all three of the All Things series into one epic mashup, and she's doing it on this pink, well, it looks pink in some pictures and tan in other pictures, but pinky tan with her own color conversion, and it's spectacular. And it definitely threw me into fits of, should I do that? Should I do something similar? I would just do Wise and Wonderful and Bright and Beautiful because those are the two patterns I have. But I mean, it would be like a whole thing. I'll just enjoy watching her do it and be completely inspired. And maybe there's another series I'll mash together in her honor. Anyway, so I'm doing this one almost as called for on my own fabric though. So let's see, how do we do this? This needs to be edged too, so I'll set the pattern there. I'm doing it on this gorgeous, I think it's a seraphim linen. Let me find my tag. Where is my tag? Here it is. Seraphim linen. The color is Boston, which is this beautiful green gray with a little undertone of blue. It's so good. A dancing giraffe. I love him. And half a seagull. That's how far I got before I was, you know, thrown. So here are the colors that are called for. And then I have selected from Stash, because I didn't have all of the pinks and reds they wanted for the border. There are border blooms that come in like this. And so I just picked a couple of, like I said, a couple of them are called for, and then I picked a couple of my own. And they'll be so cute, and there'll be nice movement from bloom to bloom. I, of course, can't just pick the called for. I just, you know, grab a handful. Is that everything? No, there's one more. Anyways, that'll be cute. And now that I've decided to just cool my jets and carry on, I can put those flowers in. I didn't want to go any farther until I knew what I was going to do. But I'm happy with my choice, because technically I have a start on both of them now. All Things Bright and Beautiful and All Things Wise and Wonderful. As giant as this is going to be, I almost wish my Bright and Beautiful was on a 28 count as well, because it's just such comfortable stitching. It's big fabric to, you know, haul around and handle, but it's really, I love stitching on 28 and 32 counts. Sorry, I'm just like, I don't know what's happening to me. Okay, this is my bag. I'm showing bags this episode, which I don't normally do because I make my own bags and it always feels like, look what I did. But I guess that's the whole thing. So I followed these, I think I alluded to them in a previous video, that I was making a few bags off of Red Velvet Quilts tutorial, which she put out about a month ago. I made 4, so you'll see those through this stack because I instantly had to use all 4, of course. Anyways, I love them. I want to make more. I just pulled, so I picked like a backing fabric and then pulled from my scraps, cut 2.5-inch squares. I think it takes 35 or something like that. Anyways, I just pulled a selection of scraps and cut the squares to match my backings, and it was so much fun, and now I want to make all the project bags. But if I make too many, I don't know what I'll do with them all. I don't know. Give them away, sell them, something. Okay, next one is Sampler Hill. I got a lot of work in on this one. It just hit the spot for my brain, and the colors are so fresh and citrusy, and not that you could tell by the picture, but they're a lot more vibrant in person. So patterns by Brenda Gervais. I'm stitching it on a 32 count Mayflower linen, and here is where I am. I added the leaves into the border and finished the house and the roof, and then I've started the fill-in on the hill, which I was fairly intimidated by because it's just a big block of stitching, but it's really fun. It's very enjoyable. There's just enough focus required to get the lettering right that it's not tedious. Anyways, I'm really enjoying it. Really enjoying it. And you know what, you guys? I think I can almost say I'm 50% of the way there. Because, I mean, this, other than her basket and her, I think her little pantaloons are the same color as the basket on this. This right side, well, okay, and a few flowers in the hill. Other than a few things, this whole side is done. But then there's also stitching already on this side. So, yeah. We're making good progress, and I'm really enjoying it, which is what matters. And it lives in this project bag. It's a vinyl front, and I've got my pattern there, so I'll show you the inside that way. Has raining chickens. This is one of my favorite project bags. Oh, lordy, it's warm. Our little heat wave. I'm not ready for it. I don't mind summer. I like summer well enough, but I have to confess, I am an autumn girly. I want to be able to wear a cozy layer and not sweat. Let alone lounge around half naked and sweat in places I didn't know existed. Next one lives in this bag. It's on top, so I'll show it first. I love this bag. It's so cute. And then it has raindrops inside and floss. And that houses my Spring Traditions sampler by Tiny Modernist, which is just a jolly pattern. It is so fresh and happy, and I love it. It's so cute. I'm stitching it on 32 count, I think, linen. We don't know the color. It's kind of wiggly woggly, but anyways, I added in our little windmill with our cows and the willow tree. So cute. During my recovery, I watched all too much TV. So what did I watch when I stitched that? We were watching, what's that show called? It's on Netflix. It's about the, fictionalized version of the establishment of the Criminal Minds Unit, this behavioral science unit. Don't remember what it's called. Anyways, it's good. They only had a couple seasons, but, we binge watched those real quick. And we'd watched them before, so does not match the project, but there you go. Cute, cute, cute. I might try to get down into that blue house that sits below it before I tuck this away for the season. Because while we have a month of spring left, technically, 90-degree weather spirals my brain into like soft summer. So, yeah. My brain is shifting gears, and what I want to stitch on is also shifting. I'll kind of talk about that at the end a little bit when we talk about my plans. I will keep a handful of these projects in the rotation and then shift a handful out for, something new and fun. Next project is Spring Quaker by Leela Studio. I am doing a full color conversion on this to, well, you'll see, like this pastel blue purple rainbow. colors. And I'll tell you, I had to make a little shift. Well, let's just show you. It's not actually stitched in yet, but the decision is made. Okay, so here's where I am. Here are my colors. And I was originally, there's a motif, so rewind. I'm trying to complete a ring, or at least partial ring, of all of the Quakers so I can get all my colors in and make sure that I like what I chose. And I do. I had to swap out what was in this corner because it was just a little too light. It showed, but it was kind of ghosty, and it was definitely considerably lighter than everything else. Even this, which is a pretty soft blue, but it shows really nicely. So I swapped that out for, I will be using dungarees, which I just felt was a nice, oh good heavens. Blop. There we go. I really thought it was a nice in-between. It's lighter than what was used here, even though it looks pretty close in this light, but I promise it's lighter. It's different too. It's a little less, it has a little bit more of a green undertone than this does. Anyway, so it made for a nice little corner moment. And then the last color to come in is Punchberry, which is this one. So that'll sit there. Cute. So I want to get, you know, the silhouettes of both of those in and finish this little curve here on that one. And then there's a good chance I'll tuck this away for a while after that. I've made really good progress. I'm happy with, like, the vision is coming together. and I know at least by June I'll be ready to pull out my summer Quaker, which compared to this needs some TLC. It's been a trifle neglected, unfortunately. Oh, did I mention this is also being stitched on 20 count Thornfield Ada, with one strand. Which I love. I'd love to get actually another piece of this Ada because it's really pretty. My hanging thread. Because the letters continue right here. But I only wanted to stitch the one, and I couldn't bring myself to cut off the thread. So, you know, the games we play. A sip. Should have brought some ice water in here or something. I don't normally drink ice water. I don't know why I said that. Just something cool sounds good. Okay, next. I've been all over the place, you guys. I mean, this is pretty focused at this point, but I have stitched on a plethora of things. Okay, this next one, I worked on the next house for Seasons of the Heart, and I cannot remember for the life of me if I had started that yet or what. I can't remember. Apparently I did not take a before picture, but I'm trying to get at least the bones of all of the houses in with their little grassy plots as we go through each season. And then when I come back to the projects, I'll have all the fun bits to do. And part of the reason for approaching it that way is I'm also doing a color conversion from stash. So when I started the first house, which is winter, that was my first house, I didn't have 60% of the colors. So I just started pulling because I wanted to start it for 12 by 12 and that was fun. So I'm just continuing that with the next houses. This one's pretty boring so far, but these are the colors I've chosen. So all the blooms, and there's a couple moths and things in this one. Super cute. So I'm really pleased with that. I'd like to finish at least the brown in the roof and maybe get some of the vine in before summer hits. And the summer house is really, she leaned really patriotic with it, so that'll be fun. I might brighten it a little, but who knows. It looks great even with the rusty reds. Super cute. So that is that one. My fabric, what is my fabric? I think it's a lakeside. Caraminous. There's a tag on it right here. Convenient. Lakeside linens, navy bean, a 32 count. And I'm stitching all four on it. I don't know if I'll finish them as pillows or in little frames, or my brain has not calculated all of that yet, but it's fun to actually be making progress on them. Eons ago is what it feels like. I started them on a 40 count, and that was just quickly decided to be too tiny for my brain. Which sounds like a cop-out, but I have pretty significant migraines, so when I say that, mostly what I'm meaning is stitching on that tiny makes my eyes focus so hard it triggers a migraine. So I typically will stitch on 36, 32, and 28. The Ada, the 20 count Ada, was an attempt to stitch smaller and not freak my brain out. And so far, it's great. I'm not always in the mood for tiny stitching, but it's been great. I'm really enjoying it. So, next project is Hoot Vibes Only. It is Barbara Anna's current stitch along. You can get the patterns on her Ko-Fi, or Ko-Fi, which is where her main shop is kind of building. She's adding new things, or old things rather, regularly, as well as releasing new things. And yeah, I've got a bucket list. Let's just put it that way. So I started this. It's this is the first part of 3. The second owl has released, and I do have the pattern, but I have not started it yet because I haven't finished the first. There she is. She's so cute. The colors are so happy. Stitching on 32 count Purple Passion. She's so cute. So I still have like half of her headdress, her face details, and then she's got a cute little sweater down below. And I think the last owl releases this week, which will be fun to see, because I did feel like the second owl, while different, was similar, you know, maybe a slightly different palette. I think it leaned more into the pinks and yellows, but it was very similar. So I'm wondering if all 3 owls will be that close, or if the third one will just surprise us. I guess it will be a surprise. It lives in another project bag I made last month. Gotta have some squatch and some sci-fi with unicorn astronauts. Okay, this next one is big. I'm making good progress on it. This is Nature's Journey by Sprouting Lupine. Okay, I've always said it lupine, but then I keep hearing people say it lupin, and I don't want to like spark a debate or anything, but I say it, I go back and forth. I need to just like pull up the dictionary and see how it's actually pronounced. Anyways, that was a tangent. I am currently working on the autumn section, and I'm trying to complete that by June 21st. No, by May 21st, excuse me. So like, you know, what is that, next week, the week after? And then I want winter, so basically the entirety of the chart, to be fully stitched by June 21st, by the start of summer. I've got a couple of reasons for that. First, I just am ready for it to be done, as much as I love stitching on it, and I do. I just have other nature-y projects that I want to work on. So I got a lot of stitches in on this. I'm pretty sure, other than perhaps a stem here, I've done everything below our golden moth right here. So I did a lot of work on this. I just have to add big leaves and fun details. I think I still have one color to add into this beetle. But I'm feeling good. I definitely think it is doable by goal. This is like the only project I have a dated goal for. Everything else is stitch what I want like a pirate. Anyways, I love it. And I want it on my wall. And I was watching Lindy Stitches, and she was showing a book that apparently she had done a flip through on previously, but she was talking about projects that she would like to do and she's trying not to start, right? I'm the opposite. I see a project, I start a project. This is my bag while I chatter. And see inside. What was I saying? Oh, anyways, so she showed this book, and it has several nature-themed projects that just made my eyes turn into hearts, and and I had to have it. So I hunted it down on the internet and ordered it. It's a Japanese book, and hopefully it will be here in the next couple of weeks. And there's a strong potential that one of those projects will be my next big nature project, that will replace this nature's journey. So I've got to get it done on time. Anyways. Next project is the Witchy Stitcher Stephen King house, which I am stitching for my husband, unbeknownst to him, for his 40th birthday. He loves Stephen King novels, and I've read a few of them, but I am, it's one of these things you do. Cujo kind of killed Stephen King for me. That one got inside my head. Anyways, I was thinking that as I went through the different rooms, though, I would read the books associated with them, so that, when I give the chart to my husband, we can notice the details together. Here is where I am. All I had was the center tower before, so I've got some good bones going in. And I've got 2 years to complete this, so I've given myself a generous timeline, which is good, because I squirrel on a daily basis. But I actually really enjoy this one. There's something very satisfying about that hard black line and then kind of coloring in the middle. I'm actually excited. I thought that I started with the roof because I thought it would be, it's dense. It's full coverage, but I thought it would be, I don't know, maybe boring is the word. I don't know what the right word is. I was intimidated by it. it's turning into a very enjoyable, satisfying stitch. Anyways, that's where I am. I would love to just power through the roof and have that done, you know, at least by the end of summer, because then I could build the bones for all the rooms. And maybe next year I work on filling in the rooms, you know, something like that. Anyways, soft plans. But I need to buy more black. I'm out of DMC 310. Oh, and that fabric is 28 count cypress from Fiber on a Whim, which is gorgeous. And it's showing pretty close. Feels kind of like a spooky haunted night, right? Here's my bag with stars. And the cutest fabric on the back. Love it. Okay. Next, because there's oh so much more. Okay. Yes. This one I'll have to pop a picture in. I have pictures for most things, but excuse me. But this one I do not have a master picture printed out. This is the Master Sword and Ocarina from Glitch Stitch AU. I bought it on Etsy a couple of years ago, which makes my progress super impressive. As far as I know, it's still out there. I don't like Zelda at all. Okay, so this is where I am. Actually, this is showing better than it was yesterday. No, stop. On this gorgeous, what I think is seraphim linen again. Here, let's drape this over the top and it won't fall. Ha! Take that. So I worked on the Silent Princess and this rosebud up here, and I want to say I stitched with some green at some point, but I couldn't really tell you. Anyways, but I actually really enjoyed stitching on this with good light. It wasn't too bad despite the dark fabric, and I would really love to get the Master Sword in. I think that'll be motivating. So that is that. And we'll come back to Zelda because I've got plans. Okay. This next one, I know I have a picture of, is I pulled out Unicorn's Garden. Now you might be noticing none of these projects fit the theme I set for myself for Mania. We just pirated ourselves right out of that. That just, I don't know, Mania died. Just stitched what felt good. So this is Unicorn's Garden. I had a grew blah blah with my tree. I missed about, 15 rows. We don't know how. It's fine. I pulled out the fence and the bottom half of the tree, and then I let it, marinate for a while because it gets better with time, and now it is back in action. So I stitched the bottom half of the tree and added a couple more leaves, and then stitched till my thread, I had a hanging thread because I couldn't complete the vine. In fact, I think I have one more little leaf to do, but we're back in action, which feels really good. It's such a pretty chart. And I have the companion one started from last autumn as well. The, well, I guess I'll just show you. What's it called? I don't remember what it's called. Garden of Shadows. Moody. So I dyed some Moody fabric for it, and it just has a small start. No, that's a good start for me. A small start is like 30 stitches. And I am known to do that, but no, that's a solid start. So yeah, I won't stitch on this one till autumn because it gives me a Moody unicorn all times of the year. I need unicorns year round. Go back in. Cannot. This one's just in a little, this was originally supposed to be an iPad sleeve. I had a ginormous iPad about 10 years ago. When I had dreams of designing and producing patterns, and you know, it was a whole thing, but not that the dream goes away, we might have some airplane companions. I was hoping it would stay quiet, that I could talk fast enough. As long as they don't turn circles directly overhead, it's okay. Just watch them do that immediately after I say that. Okay, next project is 100 Owls from Owl Forest Embroidery. This is a free chart on their website. They ran it as a stitch along a number of years ago. I did not participate in that, but I started this, what, a year ago? 2 years ago, maybe? No, I don't think it's 2 years ago. Maybe it is. I feel like I've been more productive than that with this. Maybe I'm deluding myself. Anyways, I'm doing a full color conversion from Stash. Phew, excuse me. Full color conversion from Stash. I am looking up the real life owls because they're all based on real owls, and picking my colors accordingly, which has been very fun. A lot of them look very similar regionally, which makes sense, I suppose. But here is my progress. I really wanted to get this full section done, but I got 3 owls down and started the 4th, and then I was tired. So we're 50% of the way through that section. But progress is progress, and isn't she pretty? It's been really fun as I do these little bits popped throughout to kind of pull. The first section I did was this, and I picked this really beautiful but highly variegated aqua into purple floss. So then it's been this fun kind of challenge to introduce little pops of color without it being shocking. Anyways, it's fun. So like these have little blue in them, and yeah, it's just little sparkles throughout. It's a great chart. I'm really enjoying it. And I've been making consistent project progress this year, which I don't see stopping. I'm just enjoying it. Okay. Oh, boo hiss. Well, it's gonna stay there. My little information card just floated away. Cute. Okay, we're getting there. I think I've only got, oh, maybe 2 more. And then a finish hiding at the bottom. I had this bookmarked yesterday, and now I'm just flipping through the book because my bookmark is not there anymore. So this is the book Cross Stitch Happy Days by Kyoko Moroka, and I want to stitch everything in it. Here's the cover. I am currently working on Watcher of the Skies. dipping my toe into sci-fi early this year because I got so excited during the Artemis launch and mission that I'm just hooked. I want to read sci-fi, watch sci-fi, learn about space, stitch sci-fi. So here's where I am. I added in some buildings. I learned at this building that I had stitched a couple of buildings the wrong color. We don't care. It's gonna be grand. We're just customizing as we go. And then I've started this, there's like a dome that goes over the cityscape. So I've started that arch, and then the first big planet, or it's actually the biggest planet. And it gets some of those fun corally colors into it. So I'm really excited to, this is beautiful. I'm really excited to break into some of those colors because I think it adds a lot of life to the chart. Right now it's pretty heavily purple and blue. Anyways, it's so cute. I don't know where my linen is because my card flew away, but you'll see it again, so. So there she be. Blop. Okay. I'm gonna actually pick everything up this time. Okay, this is a problem child. Unexpectedly. Well, it's kind of been a problem child from the get-go. So this is the Must Fly sampler by River Drift House. I bought my pattern off of Creative Poppy, which is no longer a functional site. Unfortunately, it makes my heart sad. River Drift House Needlework does have a website, but I could not find this exact chart on that site. They have like that top portion with a completed border available, but I didn't actually see this chart. And I could be looking in the wrong spot. Feel free to hunt for it if you so desire, but yeah, it's super cute. I really like it. I think it's a really interesting sampler, but I fear I may have chosen the wrong fabric. I think that's what it comes down to. So I am doing a conversion to a Versois silk with a couple of DMCs mixed in just because I didn't have a comparative color in silk. But I fear... Yeah, I just fear some of those softer blues are ghosting too much. I was originally a little concerned about the white, but the white actually shows okay. It's these really soft blues in the border, and then there's the second line that runs along here, and actually, yeah, you just lose some of the details. And of course it's showing okay right now on camera, but I swear in person, it almost makes your eyes bug out a little bit because you're like, wait, I know something's there. I don't know. This one's been a problem child from start to finish because the silks are different thicknesses, and then they are different thickness by strand than the DMCs, and so I've kind of been playing with one strand or two strands and had finally settled on one, but for this outer border, which I'm stitching with two so that it shows. I don't know. It's in timeout. Let's just put it that way while I ponder. If I back up, you can kind of see more what I'm saying. Up close in camera, it shows really well, actually. But in person, it reads more like that. Like, you know something's there, but you can't really see it. And I love that border. I want the border to show. And while it's not like popping in the picture, it definitely shows in the picture. I don't know. It's in timeout. We're putting it away while I think about it because I don't know what to do. And I'm fine. Honestly, I'm not so far into it that I would be heartbroken to restart it on something a little darker. This is gorgeous fabric. I would use it for something else, but gosh, and then it's like overexposed there. I don't know. I don't know. Time out. It lives in my seagull bag. Has life preservers inside. Cute. Okay, last but not least, I finished Needlework ABCs by Little House Needleworks. I just got a bee in my bonnet, and it felt so good to stitch it, and then I was so close to done that I just powered through, and now I have this beautiful chart. I did switch out the Calico Kitty, which is a very brown red, for Brick Door and Melon Patch. So I kind of played with placement with those two colors. Pause. Just show you. That wasn't so bad, as loud as that was. Sometimes lately they have been like buzzing the tower. The windows rattle. It scares my dog, which makes me mad because she doesn't get to be scared. but that wasn't so bad. They must be going into the canyon or something, which would be great because then they won't circle back. Anyways, there's nothing wrong with the planes. They just like to fly when I'm filming. So there she is. I love it. I know that this is on, or I'm fairly confident this is on a Bestitch Me Lugana, but I couldn't tell you the color anymore, and I don't have a note. I'm sorry. It's pretty though. There's something light and gentle about it. And I love that little bee. Called for colors, but for the Melon Patch and Red Barn. Or I mean Old Brick, excuse me. Cute! I'm really excited about this. I've had it perched under a book hanging on my bookshelf back here. Because I want to see it. I need to find... I'm at the point though where I need to actually find some kind of board or frame or something that I could swap them out seasonally on, because I now have Needlework and Summer complete, and I'm at least 25% through the autumn one. I didn't really work on it last year. I was distracted by other stitches. But it would be really fun to pick up. I also have the winter one, but I'm going to restart it because I wound up not loving the fabric I started it on. It's fine. You win some, you lose some. Why do I have this project bag on my lap? This is my space project bag, which I love. It's fabulous fabric. In all things distracted. It's good. It's all good. What was I saying? We don't know. We don't know. It's fine. Oh, ABCs. ABCs. Anyway, so I have 2 done, 1 underway, 1 ready to restart. I need to acquire the spring one still. Though this one reads kind of spring. I could almost skip spring and just hang this one up instead. That could work. The spring one is cute. Anyways, now that I have several going and done, I would like to, I'm thinking like some kind of board finish with magnets on the back that I could just you know, swap them out. It would also make for condensed storage, which is good. The more projects I actually finish, the more I'm thinking about economic storage solutions. Okay. So let's go through plans real quickly here. And yeah, so I'm going to keep plugging away at Nature's Journey. I'm going to keep out Grace and All Things Wise and Wonderful, 100 Owls, probably My Space. And then anything else from the stack is a gamble. But like I said, I'm kind of leaning into a bit of a soft summer theme without going full summer. So I would like to get some stitches in on Split Rock Lighthouse, which is spectacular, and my first Marechka kit, and I have like a handful of others that I would love to get my hands on at some point, but that's okay. We've got oodles to do in the meantime. No shortages of options or ideas. Oh yes, I would like to work on Garden Sampler. This is a Carriage House Samplings, and Liz Matthews has acquired the rights to these, so she's been digitizing and re-releasing them. She just re-released this one, so especially if you're a digital stitcher, you track your charts digitally, this is available as an option, which is exciting. I'm probably 60-40 on my charts. I have working copies for most things, and then I am slowly transitioning to some digital charts. It is nice. Anyways, gotta start filling in the fun bits. I've got most of the lettering in. I found the bottom. Pretty fun. And this lives in my handbag that I was given last year. It's so cute. You guys are so nice to me. Oh, speaking of so nice to me, I neglected in my video a month ago. I had a couple of donations to my Buy Me a Coffee in March. And I was the biggest heel in the world, and I didn't say thank you, so I'm so sorry first. But thank you. That's so generous and so kind. It keeps me buying new things, starting new things, and it's never a requirement. But thank you so much for those who can and do donate on occasion. It's always very exciting, and your generosity is appreciated. So thank you. What else might I work on? Those are different. Let's start at the back of the stack. Okay. I pulled out Strawberry Fields Forever. I have stitched, you might be able to see if the camera will show it. Sometimes it doesn't show the top of the shelf very well when I get into editing, but I've stitched 2 of the Magical Mystery Tour series, the Yellow Submarine and Octopus Garden. Loved them. Started Strawberry Fields Forever and then promptly totally messed up the house. So we went into hibernation for a while because my brain was sad about that. Anyways, I'm ready to pull it out again. And strawberries, bees, it's really gardens, bees, and birds are like what my brain is craving to stitch right now. So you're going to see a theme. I've not really been in the mood for fancy ladies, but I would like to get more than 10 stitches into Queen Anne because she's spectacular. If you ever go to Shepherd's Bush in Ogden, they have a sample. It took my breath away and I instantly kitted it up. I could not stop myself. But this is my glorious start from the back. I know, it's impressive. Unacceptable. I'm gonna pull her out. Work on her a bit. Get past a square of white. Okay, I would love to work on Cicada's Song sampler by Cosford Rise. I was thinking about working on it when I was stuck in bed, and and now I'm not. So, yeah, I pulled her out. This is where I sit with it. Ugh, I love it so much. I'm stitching it with the called for on the called for. The only difference is the size of my fabric. I think she did hers on like a 36 or 40, and mine is on 32 count. But it's gorgeous. I love it so much. Definitely ready for it. Okay. And then we get into my bees. My bee bag. Oh, I didn't show you my bags. Last year, I think it was last year, fairly confident, I took a few of my finished smalls and made them into project bags, and it's my new favorite thing. I want all of my project bags to have cross stitch on them. Or quilt blocks. It's so much fun. Okay, so this is the Hive Rules. I've been doing about a section a year, which isn't like a formal rule, it's just kind of what's happened. This is on Spectacular Seraphim Linen. I need a membership to their linens because every one of them I have I love. And they stitch so lovely. It's a Zweigart base though, so that makes sense. Where's my information card? We don't know. Oh, here we go. It's called something. Sunflower Fields. That's the name of this linen. And I love it. With the called for DMCs, I didn't shift anything. But I think I'm pretty close to the bottom. I only have 1 or 2 sections left. So I'm excited to get this out again. It's one of those projects that just makes you happy. And if I were to finish this one in this like dream world I live in, it would be fun to start potentially the summer rules or beach rules. No, I think it was either beach or summer rules that they just released this year. That could be a really fun one. It was really cute. But, you know, we're a ways away from that. And then I did my beat up little sunset kit. I did start last year. It's got honey in it. That counts as bees, right? It might even have a bee down in the corner. It does! On one of the honey jars. So I swapped out the linen for a Lugana and worked on one of the jars last year. I would love to work on this one again. I'm going to work on this one again. That's why it's here. That's why we're talking about it. I'm not going to pull off the wall because it's one of those annoying like multiple hanging frames, but I have the companion bear that I stitched years ago and actually framed a few years ago. I love it. So it'd be really fun to have all my teddy bears hanging. Okay, now we get into my brain's ideas because they never end. I definitely want to stitch on bee charts, but I also have a couple of new starts and a restart. So these may or may not happen in the next 2 weeks, but they will happen throughout the summer. So they're in the works. They are happening. So I had this large piece of Ada that I was originally thinking I would stitch Wise and Wonderful on, and I just didn't love the colors on it, even though it's gorgeous. One more reproduction by Bestitch Me. It's warm and yummy. Then I have been collecting the crafting series by Nathnolu. So there's the Crafter Owl and the Quilting Fox. And the Book Burrow, little badger and frog. And then they just released a little mouse, a crochet mouse, and there's a knitting raven which I could have sworn I had, but maybe I just added it to cart and didn't actually purchase it. Anyways, I love them. I want to stitch them, and I've got this big old piece of fabric, so here's the floss for the owl. What is it? A crafter owl. So the cross stitch owl. Yay. I haven't kitted up the colors for the other friends, but at some point in the next few months I'm going to start that. And it is in the third of the 4 bags I just made. Kind of a boring interior, but cute. And then here's my restart and our return to Zelda. So I stitched the winter seeds 2 years ago. Not this last winter, but the previous winter I stitched that. Thoroughly enjoyed it and started the spring seeds within a couple months of that, but then I did not like my fabric choice. I just wasn't drawn to it. The colors worked, there was nothing wrong with it, but here are the 3 seasons. Anyways, I knew pretty quickly, I mean, I think I stitched part of this upper quaker and then started on the, I don't know what flowers those are, bluebells, lily of the valley, something. Anyways, I knew I was going to do a restart. So I've kind of had that like percolating in my brain for months, and I finally got this idea to stitch them all in one. And if you see these little diamonds, these are just like, these are not charted in the pattern. They're just decorative pattern covers. But I kind of love the idea of these little companion diamonds going in between the sections. So here's my mock-up. Beautiful, I know. And I have a piece of fabric that would work. And I need to do a floss toss of some of the rustier colors that go into summer and fall. But I really like how the spring colors look on it. So, potential restart there. That'll be fun. And I'll just start wherever I am. Whenever I decide to start it, I'll pick up on whatever season is current when I do that. So if I do it in the next month, I'll start on spring. If I wait till later in the summer, I would start on summer, etc. Last project bag I made with ladybugs. Cute. Okay. We're getting there. We're getting there. This one I'll have to pop a picture in because I'm going to stitch it from my digital chart. But this is Pretty Bird by, oh, I remembered it yesterday. Wayward something. I'm so sorry. Wayward Stitches, Wayward Samplers, I don't remember. Anyways, I have this beautiful blue linen, and I'm missing 3 or 4 of the over dyed flosses. So I need to go pick those up because I want to use the called for on this one. It's just unique and gorgeous and gives me like 1920s, oh, what's the word? Is it avant-garde? No, that's not right. Anyways, it's gorgeous. I love it. It's so pretty and just different than other things. And I love the palette. It's going to be really fun. So I want to start that probably in the next 2 weeks on that one. And then I pulled some bee kits out because I don't know if I'll start all of these, but like I said, I'm feeling the bees in soft summer. So I have the Blue Flower Tudor Bee. I've had it for years. Pulled some fabric and flosses. I did have to do a conversion because this chart calls for MPIs, I believe is what it is. You can tell I bought this a long time ago because the pattern's only $8. So it'd be like $15 now. Life. This one I don't have fabric for, but I would probably do something similar to the picture. I pulled flosses. You can kind of see them. This would be a quick stitch. It's cute. And then I have had the queen bee kitted up for a couple of years. I'm pretty sure I bought it at the market it was released in. I pulled a piece of vintage country mocha for it because those colors just sing. And honestly, I pulled this out of my stash of kits to start in January. I think January or February is when Andrew the runner stitcher finished his, and I was like, this is the year I need to start her. She's so gorgeous. But then I've just been feeling the current seasons. Spring, I've been really happy stitching spring stitches, so I haven't started it yet. But now I'm ready. And then maybe Shepherd's Bush, Be True to Your Heart. I bought the pattern and the fabric, and then I've kind of pulled some of the called for, and then I had to substitute. Oh my gosh, I'm showing the chart. I'm so sorry. I'm looking at the flosses and not even thinking about that. Urgh! Anyways, there you go. Crap. It's really sweet. I will not put the beads on it, the buttons rather. I'll just borrow the little stitched bees, where are they? Stitched bees, and insert them where that would be, and add a flower. In fact, it's actually funny on this, you can see that they stitched the flower below the button they put on top. So I know there's enough space. I'm just gonna stitch them. I'm not gonna do the buttons. The buttons are cute, but it's just not my thing. So those are my bees that may or may not happen. Pretty sure if I had to pick 50% of them, I would start the bee queen and the tutor bee probably. But you never know. So those are my ideas. Cross stitch is fun. I guess you could call the bee starts my mania starts if I actually start them in the next 3 weeks. So there we go. We gave it an umbrella. Yeah, I'm stitching. I need to I stuck these plastic nails on my fingers a few days ago and I cannot stitch with them. I just am all nail and no fingers. So I need to take these off so that I can stitch more. But I hope to be back in a couple of weeks with another Flosstube, and then quilting bee. I had really hoped that I would still get stuff done, but honestly, I didn't sit at my sewing machine until 2 days ago. So I've done nearly nothing. I've done a little bit of hand applique, but I really haven't, other than a little bit of cutout and prep work. I've done no quilting. This surgery just hit hard, and it's been a bit of a longer recovery than I normally bounce back more quickly than this. But here I am. I'm back at things. It's good. I do unfortunately have another surgery coming up. Gonna have a follow-up surgery later this summer. We don't have dates for that yet though, so hopefully I'll get a bunch of stuff done in the meantime, and we'll make up for the downtime on the bookends of that. Anyway, all of that is to say, I hope to do a quilting bee around the start of June. It might be more towards the middle of June, just so I have things to share. But we'll hope gently for the start of June. But the cross stitch is still happening with vigor. So that will definitely, I'll be back in a couple of weeks for a follow-up on all the goodies I've shown. Yeah, I think that's all I've got for you today, my friends. Thank you so much for joining me. Yeah, do all the good things, spread all the good, and do all the stitching you can. Take care.